Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Shoach World! Welcome to Shoach World, gamers. Josh here, and as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to look at this week's biggest news stories, this week's gaming announcements, and this week's new video game releases. Now, if this is your first time on the channel, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button to join in on the fun. Alright gamers, let's kick off this week in review with a few news stories. Now, the big news this week has been the absolute explosion of the game Palworld. This game is so huge right now on both the Xbox, where it is available on Game Pass, as well as PC, with the game reporting over 7 million units sold over the first 5 days on just Steam alone. Originally known as the Pokemon with Gun game, upon release, it turns out the game is actually much more than just another Pocket Monsters clone, leaning more heavily on a multiplayer survival crafting base for the actual game itself. Now, we also learned this week that legendary Nintendo composer Koji Kondo, one of the most renowned names in the video game industry, and the composer behind some of the best, most beloved, and most recognizable gaming music in history from the Mario and Legend of Zelda franchises, among many more, is being inducted into the Academy of Interactive Arts and Science Hall of Fame and will be honored during the 27th Annual DICE Awards taking place on February 15th. Now, on the heels of the awesome Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown game, which recently released, and well, it's just a fantastic Metroidvania game, the developers from Ubisoft, I'm definitely going to say this wrong, Montpellier, was asked in an Ask the Developer forum, and they replied that they would love to work with the Zelda IP and potentially make a strange spin-off based on Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, which originally released on the NES. And personally, I would love to see that. Of course, this is just a dream project, but hey, you never know. Now that it's out in the air, maybe Nintendo takes a shot with them. They've already proven that they can, make an awesome 2D game, and with that version of Zelda having the 2D levels, hey, it could happen. Next up, gamers, let's take a look at some gaming announcements. Now, Princess Peach Showtime, the upcoming Nintendo Switch game starring the Mushroom Kingdom's princess herself, received a new release date trailer this week, showing off Peach in a multitude of the different scenes you will be playing through in the game. The game will be available on March 22nd, with pre-orders available now. Also, WWE 2K24 received its announcement trailer this week with the tagline, "Finish Your Story," showing off superstars both past and present, and promising new match types, new career mode experiences, and much more. The special editions of the game are scheduled to release on March 5th, with the standard version releasing a few days later on March 8th, and the game is coming to the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. Now, Freedom Planet 2 received a release date trailer this week, and the first thing you're going to notice about this game is that it is heavily inspired by the classic Sonic the Hedgehog games. The game is releasing on April 4th for the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the PC, the Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. And if you're a fan of classic Sonic games, this game definitely looks like it's worth checking out. Now, the Transylvania Adventures of Simon Quest received an announcement trailer this week, and this game, well, it just looks awesome, taking what looks like the style of the original Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest and just adding and building it into a huge epic quest with new play mechanics, huge bosses, and some really fun looking gameplay. The game is coming to the Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox systems in 2025, as well as PC. And this is definitely a game I will be keeping my eye on. So stay tuned for the channel for more info on this when we do get it. Alright gamers, let's finish up this week in review with this week's new video game releases. Now, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the next game in the long-running Yakuza gaming universe, released this week on the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. This game is an over-the-top RPG starring Ichiban Kasuga, protagonist of Yakuza Like a Dragon, as well as Kazuma Kiryu, the original protagonist of the series. The game will have all the crazy minigames, over-the-top comedy, and quirky take on RPG combat that has kept the franchise fresh for so long. Well, for the first time, you will travel beyond the familiar streets of Tokyo to the tropical islands of Hawaii. Also releasing this week was Tekken 8. It released this week on the PlayStation 5, the PC, as well as Xbox Series systems. The 8th installment of the King of the Iron Fist tournament it's never looked better. With fast fluid combat, hard-hitting combos, impressive-looking detailed high-fidelity graphics, and 32 redesigned unique fighters, as well as the all-new Heat system. Now, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy released this week on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems, combining 3 games from the Phoenix Wright franchise of courtroom-based visual novel games, where it's up to you to investigate and defend your client in court. The games included are Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, as well as 2 previously DLC-only special episodes, which will give you a grand total of 16 episodes in all. Alright gamers, that concludes this week in review for the week ending on January 26th. The week started with the first big gaming showcase of the year coming from Xbox and giving our first look at Machine's game upcoming Indiana Jones game, which looks extremely promising, and hopefully it makes its projected 2024 release later this year. Then, palworld, the Pokemon with Gun games that released into early access last week, continued to take the world by storm, turning out to be much more than just another Pokemon clone. And the week ended with the Pokemon Company apparently taking a closer look at the game and some of the PAL models in comparison to actual Pokemon. But let me know anything we may have missed in the comments, and thanks for joining us today, gamers. Joe's World, out.